Welcome to the Board Game Snobs Podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
And go.
Well, I don't want to make this all about me, but I'm in a period of mourning right now. I'm having a rough day. Go ahead and ask me why.
Because
Why
it's
you having
8
a
a.m.?
Well, thank you. Thank you for asking. I just found out that my barber of 25 years is retiring. And no, he's not retiring. He's taking another job. He's taking a job with the state because he needs like insurance or something. And I am losing my mind because I don't know if I can let somebody else cut my hair.
Well, you're going to have to, it sounds like. You have no choice.
And
unless you become a state trooper.
Even worse, what even makes it even worse is that my barber's name is Sean, which it's terrible. We got Sean. He's on the show with us today. We have a listener with us. Say hello.
Hello. I hope I'm not giving you trauma. I just, every time you say my name, you think of your luscious locks and how they won't be cut anymore by the other Sean.
The other Sean is the proprietor of the only black barber shop in the area, and which is kind of odd that I would frequent that particular barber shop, but I am one of the few white people that go to that barber shop for some reason. I don't know, mainly because it takes forever to get in because it's like the show barbershop. People go there and they sit around and talk. It takes an hour to get your hair cut. So I'm quite devastated that I will not be able to go and have my social interaction every month and hear about the various sporting events that I don't care about. But that is literally where I get all my football/NBA news. I don't actually watch sports. I just go get my hair cut and I hear about it. So I am quite devastated.
So when you walk in, do they say, one saltine coming up?
Pretty much. But all the state troopers get their haircut there too as well. So it's the firemen and the law enforcement.
Time to change careers.
Do you have a sophisticated haircut? Because when I go in, I just say number 2 all over, and they just buzz me down and I'm out.
Oh.
No, the Barber Sean, he does like a fade on me. Like the first time I went and got my hair cut, he gave me the typical, like the sides, like the Nazi haircut, the white guy haircut, where I had no hair on my sides. I was like, dude, we gotta fix this.
I've seen certain German leaders with a very similar haircut to yours before.
Exactly. So he always fades it and like blends it in, so I don't look so fascist.
You call it mind cut?
Which I appreciate. Yeah. His shop is actually called the Ace of Fade.
There you go.
And
That's cool.
His logo is the Ace of Spades, which is very good.
So is Sean a black man himself, or is he a white guy?
It's a black barbershop.
Oh.
Sean is obviously black.
Okay, I'm just saying. There might be the rare white barber that knows the ins and outs of
Did you not
African-American
watch
hair. Yes, I've seen Barbershop.
With Ice Cube?
But you live in Antlers, Oklahoma, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on up there.
Still. Barbershop's in Hugo.
Oh. Well, then he's most likely of Native American descent in Hugo.
I'm devastated. And so if my energy seems off this evening, that is because I literally just found out that after 25 years of going to the same place to get my hair cut, I'm going to now have to find within the next few weeks, because we're going to the Dice Tower retreat. I'm not showing up at the Dice Tower retreat looking all whack.
Lack of whack is what it sounds like.
Anyways, Sean.
Well, I too am devastated. I guess we don't care about what I'm devastated about.
What? Oh God, I get what you're bald.
Well, I can be devastated.
Gaby?
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
There was the slander. That's what it is. Slander against truck drivers. All the headlines in the last few days have been truck slams into house, semi-truck, a trailer, Sherman-Williams to be specific. So therefore, the house is freshly painted, but it also barely exists anymore. Little do the headlines say, the reason this semi-truck tractor trailer slams into the house and just demolishes it, no one's hurt, by the way, is because a car, four-wheeler, as we call them, runs a stoplight. Truck is going full speed, has the right of way, and the car smashes into the truck. Truck veers off to the side of the road, completely destroys somebody's house. But does that get the headline? No. Let's drag the truck drivers, because that gets us headlines. The law hammer guy's going to come after him now, even though it wasn't his fault. And I'm sick of it.
Everybody, first off, truck drivers don't have a good reputation anyways.
How dare you?
Y'all are all meth heads trying to stay awake and stay on the road, running people over. And
see, it's people like you. People like you spreading this propaganda from the 80s. That's not trucking anymore.
That is trucking, y'all.
That's just like the headlines today.
They don't even have a license.
Oh, big truck slams in the
y'all
house.
Aren't exactly
the professional driver was watching everything meticulously. He couldn't stop. He couldn't even see the car coming because there was trees across the highway, of course, right around the corner. And that car just straight up runs a stop sign, smashes into the truck. I don't know how those people are. They look like they could be dead. But I haven't seen that in the headlines, so hopefully they're not.
R.I.P. Sean, is there any grievances or things that are distressing you at this time?
No, my life's pretty good right now. I think especially compared to the devastation of other truck drivers and also your barber. But I think I'm doing okay.
Sean,
I'm counting my blessings.
He leads a life of happiness, which is great. This is the type of positivity that we need on our podcast, because we've started this trope now of having listeners on just because, we like to include people. It's like a call-in show.
I've always wanted to call in whenever you guys had the call-in show in the past, and it was always just a day I was traveling and I could never call in. But I've thought about that in the past. I don't know when the last time you guys had one of those. I feel like you were having those around New Year's a lot.
Yeah, we got to get back on that.
It's been a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But now, where we're just dragging our listeners onto the show.
Just random listeners.
Much more personal. Random listeners. We don't even vet these people. You could be psycho killers. You mentioned that you were broadcasting from your basement and assured us that it's not a murder basement. But that's exactly what a murderer would say.
That's true. And I don't know a way out of that paradox other than to assure you.
Any basement could be a murder basement, even one that's nicely furnished. I always wanted a basement to be true, because we have storm cellars in Oklahoma because of the tornadoes, and I always liked the idea of the convenience of just having the basement there. But there's just not that many homes that have basements in rural Oklahoma. I don't know if it has something to do with the foundations or it's just not our thing around here.
Well, I'll tell you, the thing I like about a basement, my brother had one of these before I got our house, and then we have one also. We have a guest room in the basement, and they call it a non-conforming bedroom because it doesn't have any windows, so you can't escape if there's a fire. But what it winds up being is just a sensory deprivation room. It's the most peaceful and cool thing to sleep in, and I love it.
And you have a small child, so that's easy to go down into the basement and just lock yourself into it.
Yeah,
at the risk of death.
I mean, anything I do is at the risk of death, but
you lead a life of danger, do you, Sean?
I wouldn't say danger necessarily. I just think it's a dangerous world sometimes. So,
aren't you an English teacher?
No. I had an English degree. I do work in higher ed, but I don't teach. I used to teach college, and then I got sick of teaching college, and so I'm in staff support now, and I'm happier doing that. I'm happier not actually having to deal with the students and just dealing with the staff.
Just hate people, do you?
I mean, why else would I listen to your podcast?
I hate people. So it's university. So you were teaching college kids.
I was teaching community college at a bunch of places.
Oh, so not even the rich college kids.
No.
You're teaching the dropouts and the ones at the community college. Goodness. So what did you make them call you Mr. Sean, or were you one of those cool professors that shows up with, just wearing a t-shirt and khakis?
No, I tried to be cool, and I'm not really a cool guy. So I would show up where I had the jeans and a t-shirt, and then I had a sports coat over that. And I was trying my best to look like Hugh Laurie in House, and it never really worked.
Yeah, it's hard to project coolness. Especially coolness is a frame of mind. But it's hard to get that image. But did you teach English?
I taught English. I taught like freshman composition. So just essay writing, rhetoric, very, very basic introductory stuff where this would be great if you had been good at it in high school. And not everyone was good at it in high school. And some of them were because they just weren't trying hard, and some of them was because it's been 20 years since high school and they're just out of practice. And so that's just two very different populations to try to reach out to.
Now AI's just doing it all.
I'm so happy that I got out before anything close to AI. When I was still teaching, there was still the question of, can I just go online and buy an essay from someone else? Just have someone else write it and I'll buy it. And that seems like the good old days now of just good old fashioned, cheating.
Yeah. What got you into the idea of wanting to teach, become an English teacher?
I had an English degree, and that's what they always said to do is, you got an English degree? You go teach. Okay.
Well,
so I went
an English degree.
So I liked books. I liked writing. I liked doing all the stuff that you do in kind of the 300 and 400 level English classes. And then when you get to actually teaching, they're like, oh, no, you don't get to do those. You get to do 101. If you're lucky, 102.
But you liked writing. Do you write now?
I still write some. I try to do fiction writing. I try my hand at fiction writing sometimes. Never had anything published, so it's mostly just for me and my wife. But
so you like, but then this fascinates me about writing because I have zero imagination. So anybody who comes up with anything in any type of form of story, it almost always just blows my mind because I'm zero imagination. But do you write like science fiction? Are you writing like catchy romances? What are you writing about?
So I said I've not had anything published. So I've got 2 unpublished novels, and one of them's kind of just a coming of age college story because that was really what I knew a lot about at the time. And then the other one was more of a sci-fi mystery story because, well, I didn't know about that. I didn't have any specific experience with time travel, but it was something that had kind of been pecking away then in my head for several years. And that's kind of a lot of what I do, right? It's just something that I come up with and I think about it, and it's years and years. And sometimes I'll take notes on it and they'll develop. And once I kind of have it, then, I let it just emerge from my head fully formed like Athena. And then I have a book that never gets published. But
well, publish it. You can put it on Amazon. That's how the guy who did that Project Hail Mary, he self-published that thing, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe he did. I mean, you have lots of just huge success stories of people who originally self-published or just put it online for free. I think the guy who did Project Hail Mary, Andy Weir, when he did The Martian, he put it on there and he was selling it for like $1 because that was the minimum that Amazon would let him sell it for. So he wasn't even in it to make money initially. He was just, people wanted it on their Kindle, and he's like, I can do that, but it'll cost $1.
There you go. So just self-publish that. Just put that out there. You never know. You never know, especially with science fiction fans, because those are the most like ravenous fans. Is like what they find something that they like or some universe building thing, they're all about it. They tell all their nerdy friends and it takes off.
I've been writing a Fast and Furious fanfic that I cast myself in. It's going to be the next Twilight. No, wait. What was the? Yeah, Twilight was the. No, it was the
Vampire.
50 Shades of Grey that was the fanfic of Twilight. That's what it was.
50 Shades
What-
was the fanfic of Twilight. Twilight was the fanfic of like My Chemical Romance music.
What's
what
the
I'm doing.
What's going to be the equivalent of the Fast and the Furious? Arrive in 60 seconds.
Well, mine's going to be like all food based. So my name is Solomonic Burrito, and my
So
girl.
it's like the Fast Food and the Furious.
There you go. Now let's look at us. We're clicking. We're brainstorming. My
That's the thing
girlfriend
I always
Letty.
admired about Fast and Furious movies is they find a brand new way to just wring something out of that title, where it's we're only going to say fast this time, or we're only going to say furious this time, and I'm waiting for them. Oh, we're only going to say and the this time.
It's very unique. Each one is unique and wonderful. And see, Letty is short for lettuce, so she's already established. Fryan O'Connor. This is writing itself, basically. It hasn't got much further than that, though. I'm just establishing the names. Not sure exactly what the heist is going to be.
Robbing a Chick-fil-A.
But we're set in the. Remember that movie? Never mind. It's set,
No,
it's,
go
set
ahead.
it's set in the universe of VeggieTales.
You're
We'll do
cooking.
something
Keep
like
going.
that. No, I was trying to think. I was trying to think of that movie that had Seth Rogen as a cartoon, like hot dog.
Yeah, hot
It was
dog.
like it was like super perverse. So I decided to stay away from it.
Okay, so no food-based Fast and the Furious fan
I
fiction.
better not.
huh?
Well, I don't know. The Fast Food and the Furious does have a good ring to it. They have yet to
Yeah.
properly. They need to make a good farce. What do they call those? Whenever spoof. They need to make a good spoof of the Fast and Furious movies and
Fast and the Furious is a spoof.
the
hate to tell you.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
No,
pretty close.
It is a spoof. It's meant not to be taken seriously.
How dare you?
Just people like you. You're equivalent of those guys who think the WWE is real.
It is. It's written a lot of my present day philosophy and mottos.
Just saying is that the Fast and Furious was meant to be a spoof.
So I'm going to push back a little bit there, Jerry. I'm not a wrestling fan myself. I've never actually sat down and watched wrestling, but I have a lot of friends and they convinced me that it is real. It's choreographed, but the athleticism is real.
The
It's just all
physicality
playing.
is real.
Yeah.
The physicality of it is real. I'm not arguing that. They rig the matches.
But they do pull their
thing-
punches.
Oh yeah. I knew that. Yeah.
But it's rigged. It's very much, or not rigged. I mean, they know what it is.
It's
kind of like
written. It is written.
See, that's the movie I always want to see. Is I want to see a professional wrestling movie, but it was all just in the writer's room, and just you have The Rock and John Cena and all of them just sitting around a conference table, like, well, what if we did that? Is this storyline good? Is this what we would do in character?
The Rock and John Cena. I just don't view that as a meeting of the writing minds, but I guess it could be.
Well, and that's why it would work, because it's so unexpected.
That's the twist. That's the hook.
that intellectual Dwayne Johnson. Anyways,
Right.
Sorry, before we get off track, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You were wanting to go after.
I was going.
know
Well,
you-
no, I was trying to think of instead of calling him The Rock and be like writer's block, but
I knew it was something. I knew it was something.
that's all I got. Proceed.
Okay, I was pausing for quite some time there. Anyway, Sean, you had emailed us about what'd you email us about?
SpaceCorp.
SpaceCorp. I played SpaceCorp, which is still on. It was on my shelf of shame for so long. I was super excited to get to play it, and I love GMT games, although I'm terrible at them. But yes, what is your fascination with SpaceCorp?
Well, I also love GMT games. I've been playing GMT games for, God, it feels like 20 years now. And I like science fiction, kind of as we've already touched on. And I played, what is that? The other one that they did is they put out Space Empires 4X. And I got that and I played that and that was all right. But when they announced SpaceCorp, it's like, oh, this looks great. This looks interesting. I love the art that they were coming up with it, and I got it when it first came out. I think 2018, I want to say, and we were just playing it nonstop for a while. And then the expansion came out, and that just added a whole new layer to it. Because did you guys play with the expansion when you played it, or
We did not. This is my first time playing it, and
Oh.
they didn't want to. I guess the expansions let you kind of skip that first error.
No, well, actually, quite the opposite. With the expansion, it says that, okay, you actually have to play the 3-era game. You can't just do 1 or 2 of the eras like you could before. The expansion, the big thing it does is asymmetric powers. It brings in like 16 different factions, and they all have different powers that unlock as each era comes in. And then they also have just different layouts for the tableaus and whatnot. I don't know how much we need to talk about the game and explain it before I get into what the expansion changes.
The whole idea of the game to me, which Chad and Jason, we was at like our little NobCon thing. They were trying to teach it to me, and they were confused about one area that was taught to them. Another listener that they were confused, but by the time they got through teaching it, it seemed pretty straightforward to me. You got a hand of cards, you have your tableau. You kind of upgrade your tableau. You want to do your own actions, whatever's showing on your tableau and in your hands. That's what you can do. You can move that far or research that much. So it was strangely a very simple mechanic. Also, the idea of being able to use other people's stuff, I thought was interesting. That you could activate somebody else's tableau.
And that kind of is the main player interaction in the game, apart from. So the big way that I describe it to people when I'm teaching, I'm trying to kind of explain this, what your strategy could be. I say, this is a racing game. It may not look like a racing game, but you're racing to get to the best locations and to complete the contracts the fastest and to get the best upgrades and whatnot. And so when you look at it as a racing game, then it's very easy to say, well, I could use my tableau, or I could use Jerry's amazing building tableau so I can build my base without actually spending any resources at the grand cost of you get to draw a card.
I was winning this game the first 2 eras. And then for some reason on the third, when the whole, okay, now the game does this neat thing of like you start off in this our solar system, and then you leave that solar system, the board flips over and more stuff comes out. And so it zooms out a little bit. Then finally it zooms out again to another board to where it's way out into the cosmos. I couldn't colonize anything. I had completely, that third era, I just dropped the ball. Like I was the first one out of the solar system just about every time, moving, trucking, getting my stuff going. But when it came time to colonize, I was the first one there, but I couldn't pitch a tent.
That third era really is kind of the controversial one with people, because it does play so differently from the first 2. You have the first one, which is really like let's show you how the game plays and get you comfortable with it. And the second one's like, let's just ramp it up a little bit and make it a little bit more difficult and a little bit more interesting. And the third one's like, here's a brand new game for you. And that throws people off enough, especially with the scale of it changing, because on the first map, just looking at movement, you can say, wow, this place is 5 movement away. That's really far. And then the second one's like, hey, this place is 15 movement away. That's really far. And the third one's like, hey, this one is 80 movement away. And you're like, how am I going to put together 80 movement to get that far?
That's what threw me, was looking at the boards, and it does ramp up. I don't think I've played a game that at the beginning I felt like there's no way you can pull this off. Like, how are you going to be able to get everything quite lined out right? But yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I haven't got to play it with Gaby and Enrique, but I'm going to set it up and refresh my memory on the rules a little bit more, and I think they'll like it. I have an inane amount of GMT games. I have just turned around to my shelf and have counted. And if you would have asked me how many that I had, I would have not have guessed that I had this many. But yeah, I have way too many GMT games for some reason.
Just real quick, inane means lacking
What'd I
sense.
say?
meaning, ideas, or significance. You
They're
said
lacking
inane.
significance. What am I supposed to be saying?
You said an inane amount.
Yeah, but
maybe
there's
you
another
meant to
word that
say
sounds like
insane
that.
amount?
No, I said inane, but
Well,
inane means
inane
what now?
means similar words are silly, foolish, pointless, vacuous, asinine.
How about you let the English major be the one
There
to
you go.
correct me?
Sean, did he use inane correctly in that sentence?
I would accept that he has an asinine number of GMT games, so I would go with that.
But that's not
There you go.
technically the definition, though. The definition means lacking sense, meaning, ideas, or significance.
Well, I have
Unless you
It's
meant
not
to
the word
say,
I would have chosen.
it'd be, there you go. It's not a word he would have chosen.
but I used it correctly.
No, you didn't. Not really.
Sean
You-
said I used it correctly.
You used it in a way that could make sense.
There you go. Boom. That's all I need. if he understood. See, Sean, this is why I
No.
like having our
No.
listeners on. It's hard when I've got this. I got this midwit co-host who's always trying to correct me, trying to make so he makes
Because
himself
nobody
feel better.
says I have an inane amount.
I say it all the time. This first time,
You know what?
correct.
You are definitely being inane right now, lacking sense, meaning, or significance.
One of us is asinine.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Bird.
I have 11 GMT games I'm looking at on my shelf.
I was taking the opportunity of this conversation to count mine. I've got 31.
Good Lord. I
Calm
don't feel
down,
bad
Sean.
now.
Calm down.
Because I
I-
love their P500 system, and so it's very
They're-
easy for me just to say, "Oh, this looks good. Let me put it on order, and I'll get it in 5 years."
That P500, that's what got me. I have a lot
more
of
of a
solo
Daytona
games that are
guy.
GMT. The Hunters and the Hunted, the solo submarine games. Those are like some of my favorite submarine games because I'm obsessed with submarines for some reason.
Did you see they
Because
put
you
out
lack depth
last
yourself.
year a solo
President.
submarine game? It's an American Civil War submarine game.
I seen that. I did not get that because
Infernal Machine.
Infernal Machine. They've got a. Let's see what else I got. I got Labyrinth, which is like one of their modern war type games that looks too complicated for me, but
War on
I
Terror.
got it. I need to play it. Let's see what else. Ooh,
I bet it would be
speaking of
amazing.
Field of Fire, GMT. Man, that's a rough solo game.
So I've got that. I have it punched. I haven't actually cracked it open to learn it yet,
Okay,
but
so
it's right here on the shelf.
Field of Fire. That was it's like a Vietnam, World War II, Korea type game where you're controlling a platoon, and it is so much about logistics where you're advancing your little guys, your little chits that represent your men, and to like order this guy over here, you have to send a runner. It's very difficult, and the rule book is insane. But like the people that are into solo games and those deep solo games, Field of Fire is always out there. Let's see, what's the next one I have? Oh, of course, got SpaceCorp. Welcome to Centerville. The
Great game.
designer, I haven't got to play it yet. The guy who made it passed away, died of cancer.
Chad Jensen,
And
yeah.
Chad Jensen. And I bought that thinking, because he put out a lot of good stuff. And I bought that, and I never have got to play it yet. Strangely enough, Dominant Species is still sitting on my shelf of shame. And they just announced that they're doing another reprint.
Which I'm excited about. I love Dominant Species. It's probably a top 10 game for me.
It's your number 10, actually, Sean.
I think I sent you guys an email at one point with my top 10 games, and it shifted up a little bit. I think I've got it around like 7 or 8. But yeah, for a long time, it was just there on the cusp. And that's a game that you really want as many people as you can get on that, because it goes up to 6. And when you have all 6 going in there and everyone's fighting each other with their asymmetric animal powers, that's where that really shines.
Is Tigris and Euphrates still your number 1?
Still number 1. Also getting a reprint.
Also,
Like everything I love is getting a reprint right now.
I have the old Fantasy Flight edition of Tigris and Euphrates, and I have nobody to play it with because Gaby refuses to play it. It's a game now. It's different. Let's see what else I got. Desperately want to play Dominant Species. Sekigahara, which is the block warfare game. Sekigahara.
That's the Japanese, correct?
Yeah, the unification of Japan. It's a block warfare game. It was one that back in the day when I was in the war games, I was like, yes.
Attack the block.
I played that once, but probably 10 years ago. So I couldn't say much about it.
I've got Command and Colors Napoleonic still in shrink. I bought it at a virtual flea market. I have it. Have never taken the shrink wrap off it. Let's see, 1846, the Race for the Midwest, the train game, those 18XX games. I love playing those at cons. I got into the 18XX. And
I've got 1862 from GMT on the shelf right here.
62, nice. I have nobody to play these with because of the Gaby is not a GMT guy. Talon. Have you played Talon?
No, I like Talon.
I've not played Talon. That's
okay.
So I mentioned Space Empires earlier, and that's the same designer. That's Jim Cron. And I know that Talon even had a way to integrate with Space Empires if you got both boxes. But no, I never got to play Talon.
I played Space Empires. It fell flat for me because it was very much, here's a spreadsheet. It was almost like a roll and write. It's like, here's this sheet. Write down what your empire's doing and move stuff around on this board. Talon is GMT's answer to like the X-Wing game, to like moving stuff around and being able to fight. And it has a very interesting system where you're powering up your ships, who's got initiative and shooting at each other. We played it and we really liked it. Talon is actually one of those games it's in the rotation to bring back out.
Is that the one with the dry erase elements?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Talon.
Sean,
we did an episode on
have you ever played? Yeah, we have. It's a good. I loved it. Do you have ever played Pendragon?
Oh no.
Yes, Pendragon. That's actually the first coin game that I played. And after I played that, I just got hard into coin, and I've been collecting as many as I have. So several of those 31 games I mentioned earlier are all coin games.
Ah, because that's been sitting on our shelf for
I looked at it and realized that I can't teach that game to Gaby.
I gotta say, even though it's the first coin game I played, I don't know if I would say that's the first coin game someone should play. I would say go for Cuba Libre for something simpler for 4 players, or the British Way is fantastic with 2 players.
We did Cuba Libre, and Gaby, I think it fell flat for him as well.
Well, no, because it just never really got going.
It got going. We played it with Chad. It was going. It's just it's asymmetrical.
But something happened where we didn't finish.
Yeah, you didn't want to finish it.
Was that it?
Labyrinth. Yeah, that was it. It was you DNF'd it. Labyrinth is a coin game, if I remember correctly.
It's not. It's the same designer. It's Volker Runke. So he created the coin series. But no, I believe I've not played Labyrinth. I know it's not coin. I believe it's something closer to a card-driven game, like Washington's War or Twilight Struggle or something like that.
There you go. So yeah, we can give that a shot, Gaby. You might like that one.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
But coin has been like, it's hard. Coin games to me were hard to teach because I have to teach this thing. I have to teach like every single aspect of the game for each faction to whoever's about to play it.
So here's the selling point for coin, though, is if you can get that first game done, like every other coin game is going to be at least 75-80% of the same bones. And it's just what's different in this box. I already know how to play the game, just what's different in this one. And I've got a group that I meet up with twice a year at the Geekway to the West convention in St. Louis, where we just play coin games. And we arrange it a couple months before. What game are we playing? We're playing this one. Cool. We'll look at it, and everyone knows how to play coin. What's different this time? These 12 things. Or these 20 things, and depending on how complicated they get. But once you get that first one done, you're most of the way to any other coin box.
So do you have a
Selling.
regular group you get play with?
We've got a weekly meetup here, but it's something goes from like 6:30 to 10, so we can't play any of these bigger games. It's a lot of like, we'll do a euro or maybe 2 euros, or here's this midweight game, and then we're going to play trick-taking games for the next hour. That's a lot of what we do weekly.
I can't do trick-taking games. I wish I could do trick-taking games.
You're all right.
I wish I liked them.
I like, what is it, Scout? Does that count as trick-taking? I don't guess so.
Yeah, Scout's trick-taking. So, yeah.
It's got tricks, yeah. They'll usually call it like a shutter climber instead of just a strict trick taker. But I mean, shutters and trick takers are so close to each other that if people lump them together, I don't get offended. I don't know about anyone else, but
I don't get offended. Jerry stays offended.
I stay offended. That's how.
So does you said you had your wife previously, correct? So you're married. Does she play games?
She'll play games with me sometimes. She's not as into it as I am. She's certainly very tolerant of the hobby. But there are some games that we've played a lot. She really likes Jaipur, just for a 2-player game. She really likes Deep Sea Adventure from Oink. And then the thing that I say to throw people off is like, oh, and she really likes Through the Ages.
Woo!
That's a hard right turn off of Jaipur, and
Yeah.
Well, she's a fantastic woman, so
Does she like history?
she does. Yes.
Have you played Nations?
I've not played Nations.
Y'all should try Nations.
Nations to me kind of killed Through the Ages. I know that's controversial because I like Blotto Shavattle anyways. But yeah, I think Nations is a better time period game like that where you're building your culture building, I guess.
I think with Through the Ages, the thing we liked the most was just there wasn't a map, so we could get into conflicts with each other, but we weren't feeling like we were playing Risk with stuff. We were doing other stuff that sometimes had fighting.
Yeah, that's Nations. Nations does that same thing where you just declare a war and inconvenience everybody. War is just an inconvenience you have to plan ahead for, much like in life. So what was the last good Euro you played, John?
The last good Euro that's new to me, or just the last good Euro that I've played? It's new to me. I'm really not certain because I don't really have my finger on the pulse of the hotness. I've got a lot of the games that when I first got into the hobby 20 years ago, I still have those. And so I'm the guy who shows up still and I'm like, hey, let's play Tigers and Euphrates. Let's play Power Grid. Let's play Taj Mahal. Let's play Goa. And let's play El Grande. And people will do it. And then someone will pull out, like, I think this past week, someone had Wingspan Pocket. And I'm like, hey, cool. You guys are having fun. I'm happy for you. And, and I didn't play it.
Yeah, Wingspan. So is there a game that's like under the radar in terms of the hotness of things? It's just not very popular that you really like a game not many people's talked about, or maybe it was popular back in the day, but it's kind of fallen off. You got like this weird kind of hidden gem somewhere.
Jet Set.
Jet Set.
We have that.
Jet Set. You guys have that?
We have Jet Set, don't we?
I think that's the one sitting over in the corner that we have never played. You said, oh, it's just like Ticket to Ride or something.
Hang on a second. Did I have Jet Set? I don't think I got Jet Set. I think you're thinking of something else. Hang on a second. But that sounds so familiar.
I know what Jet Set is. We demoed that a long time ago. We have Flight Plan.
Flight Plan.
Flight Plan is the name of the game that's
Jet
sitting
Set.
over here. Jet Set. We demoed that at BGG, like one of the first ones we went to. But I don't remember much about it. But I do remember.
I'm trying to remember how old it was. So you know when you play Ticket to Ride, how it's a rummy system. Like you've got that face up row, and you're trying to just make sets and stuff, and that's just how you build your routes on the map. And Jet Set, it feels very similar in that, okay, I need to build these routes on the map so I can do my tickets, but instead of rummy, I'm just going to have the most punishing economy you can imagine. So
I remember Jet Set. I remember it was all the hotness back in, it was like BGG 2016, I think. Somewhere around
it's
there. That was what people were
very
playing.
difficult to get money in that game. It's, if you want to get money, like that's my turn is going to be collect money. And then I got to wait for everyone to go again to even spend it. And you make less and less money as the game goes on. Like your money makers get less valuable. So you'll have to keep building brand new routes to start getting money back, because otherwise you'll run out. I think that's a great game. And
it's readily available.
Is it?
2008. Yeah.
Well, he said under the radar. I think it's definitely under the radar.
I brought that to a meetup around here. I mean, I do it every few months anyway, but a couple years ago, I brought it and played with a friend of mine. I said, hey, we need to play Jet Set. And we played it. And when it was done, he said, this is if Splotter had designed Ticket to Ride.
Well, I was talking to Alan Armoon once. I played with him in a poker tournament. And when right before Ticket to Ride, he made Airlines Europe. I absolutely love Airlines Europe. Airlines Europe is very similar to it has that Ticket to Ride feel, but it's got the stock investment thing going on. And I was going on about the fact that you need to get this game reprinted. And still, I've not seen Airlines Europe anywhere for quite some time. I'm a sucker for airline games.
Airlines Europe is good. I played it not too awful long ago, maybe a year ago. And this is the first time I played it, and I was like, okay, I can see the age in it. But a little tweak here and there, and he could have it ramped right back up.
Yeah. And Pan Am wasn't bad. Pan Am, which was done by
Prospero Hall?
Prospero Hall. Pan Am wasn't bad. We still have it.
I've not played it. It's sitting on my shelf, but I've not played it.
It's a good game. I like Pan Am.
Not bad.
I like the bidding in that.
We did an episode on that, dude.
Yeah.
Pan Am.
That's where Michelle found
those
us.
are the two airplane games I have are Jet Set and Pan Am. They're right next to each other on the shelf.
I got to look into Jet Set.
You coordinate your shelves by theme. This one's about planes and jets.
Actually, that's on the shelf that has all the train games. So it's a whole bunch of train games, then two airplanes.
And automobiles.
So do I have a cars game? I don't think I have a game with cars. The only racing game I have is Charioteer.
Need to get Heat. I got Heat and Rallyman. I've never played Rallyman. I picked up an old copy of it.
Fast and Furious has a pretty good board game. Just saying.
No, it does not.
It was fun.
Money grab.
It was good.
Fun.
It was fun.
You're just going on because it's Fast and the Furious.
It was good. Okay, I'll tell you what it was. I'll tell you what absolutely 100% destroys it is that Thunder Road Vendetta or whatever it is.
Yeah. Thunder Road.
That is a fun. Fast and Furious should have done everything they had in their power to just outright buy that whole game and make it theirs.
Does Fast and Furious have a family card where if you play it, you win?
Family. It comes with its own wife beater.
That's the inscription.
Well, that's the first player token. Wear this wife beater.
Who are we talking to? Sean Franco. Okay. Now, I know 1000%. How sick do you get of people asking about Dave and James?
Not at all, because the Franco is a nom de plume. It's not my actual name. That's just my name for the online public.
Lies! You live a life of lies.
Yes, I'm in security also.
Well, I've already Googled your
doxxed.
house, though. I know exactly where you live. I'm in your basement with you.
Is that what that thing has been?
That'd be weird if you come upstairs and it says Gaby sitting at his table eating Chipotle.
I'm in my wife beater.
Talking to your wife. Oh, that'd be weird.
So why did you choose Franco, though?
So the very bizarre story there. my favorite movie is Trainspotting. The villain in that movie is Robert Carlyle's character, whose name is Francis Begbie. And in the movie, sometimes they call him Franco. And I always thought that sounded cool.
Trainspotting's a rough show.
I mean, it's not the feel-good movie. It's just my favorite movie.
It's not a feel-good movie. It's not a feel-good movie. That's not something that you fire up in mixed company being like, you're going to love this.
I don't think Danny Boyle makes many feel-good movies.
Slumdog Millionaire was kind of feel-good. Millions was definitely feel-good.
Oh,
I didn't see the Beatles one, but I mean...
Which one?
I'm sure there's other
ones. The one about all the music disappears?
Yeah, I didn't see that one, but I've seen most of his movies.
It was okay. Yeah, it was pretty feel-good, actually, I guess.
There's definitely a lot of feel bad, like Shallow Grave, feel bad, Trainspotting, feel bad, 28 Days Later, feel bad.
Is Danny Boyle related to Peter Boyle of Everybody Loves Raymond?
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe to the extent that we're all related if you go far enough back. But
that's true. That is true.
As a writer, do you notice the plot holes in movies and television shows and things of that nature more readily?
Not more readily, but when I do notice them, I try to figure out, did I notice this right away or did I not? And if I didn't, then the thing I'm more interested in is how did you hide it? What did you do to distract me so that it's not the most important thing that there's this problem here?
When you do see it, are you like that Leonardo meme where he is sitting relaxed from the
Once Upon a Time?
Once Upon a Time, and he's snapping his fingers. That's it. That's you when you spot it. I only think in GIFs these days.
Oh, you're team GIFs. You're not team GIFs.
I'm GIFs.
I was GIFs. I've been brainwashed.
I'm GIFs. It keeps on giving.
Everybody said it's not graphics, and I was like, no, it's not. You're right. But yet they've won me over and brainwashed me. I didn't even realize it.
And it's Joffrey.
Yeah,
not Jeffrey, right?
It's actually
it's Jeffrey.
It would be Joffrey if, according to your
How
rules.
about we listen to the English guy, Gaby? How about that?
Oh, speaking of which, not that you're English or British in any way.
Agreed.
I bought a book because of you. I purchased Iain. How do you say his name?
It's Ian. I know it looks weird with the two eyes, but it's just Iain Banks.
Iain Banks. I bought. I bought Consider Phlebas.
Yeah. Oh, the first culture book.
I did. I have not yet to crack it open. It sits on my TBR shelf or shelf of shame, but I'm knocking them out. So I plan on getting to it. Actually, it's not going to be my next book, but it's going to be my third book.
I envy your opportunity to read it again for the first time.
Because we have here in my small town, a new bookstore open, and it's an adorable little place. And I try to support it at least once a month. And my wife gets on to me. She's like, "You're not even reading the books you got," which is true. But it happened to be in there. I asked them because we had just gotten your email. I was like, "Do y'all have Iain Banks?" They're like, "Oh yeah."
Is that the one that's got the upstairs on the square?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I went there. It's nice. What's the book? What's it about?
So culture. So it's the first book of his culture series, which is like 10 books. I think I may have said this in the email that you guys read, but it's a cohesive setting, but it's not reoccurring characters or it's not one big story arc. It's each one standalone. So you have this future utopian civilization that's called culture, and they're post-material and post-human, and they're all just really happy. And in that first book that Gaby has, there's another species that thinks that they're abominations of God because no one should integrate that much science into their civilization. So that first book is about the war between culture and trying to remember the name, the
Adherents.
Other aliens, Adherents, yeah. And so it's strange because culture is where you're going to be for all 10 books, but they're positioned as the bad guys in the first book. So your main character is a guy who's an agent for their enemies, and he's a shapeshifter who is sent on a mission to try to recover an important piece of equipment from culture, and it's kind of a heist book in some ways, but it's also kind of a disaster book in some ways.
Well, I look forward to reading it.
I've got several books I'm slowly whittling down. I finally got through that Dungeon Crawler Carl just because everybody wouldn't shut up about it, and now I've moved on to Red Rising. I just started it.
I'm currently halfway through Dune Messiah because I had only ever read the first Dune book, and I said, well, I need to get this one done before the movie comes out on Christmas.
So Dune to me was a slog, but yeah, it's I forget how many actual Dune books there are. There's like a bunch that were not canon. I think there's actually like 7 that were by him and his son.
The ones Frank wrote, there's 6.
There's 6. That's right.
There's 6, and he ended the last one on a cliffhanger, so everyone was really disappointed. And then his son wrote the next one. They were disappointed for different reasons. So
yeah, I do like where he was going with the first 2 or 3 books, like the idea behind it, and I am fascinated to see what the movies do. This third one is going to be pivotal because everybody views Paul Atreides one way without realizing the message behind the books. And it's going to be interesting to see it. I love being able to read a book and then watch it.
I feel like me and film adaptations are like a coin flip. There's some of them where I'm like, yeah, I'm all about that. Like Trainspotting, that's based on a book. The book's great. The movie's great. But then I turn around and say, man, I loved reading Lord of the Rings. And I watched those movies in the theater. And I was so disappointed by them. Like I'm a fan of Tom Bombadil. I was offended he wasn't in there. But
I watched Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, this for the first time like a couple months back. I had not read the books. I avoided the movies like a plague because I had a buddy that was so obsessed with them, and I'm one of those people that I like to just kind of. I hate being involved when everything's the hotness. I hate being around it. I like just get to it when I get to it. Watch the films. They're good, but I had no frame of reference. So I bought the books to read through them. And I've heard very few people. It's like something that's whispered in the backs of rooms away from everybody else. The hot take of they liked the books, but they didn't like the movies. That's almost like it's nothing that you never hear people say that.
Yeah, I know that's not a popular take.
That's
but
not a popular opinion.
There are also books that they were kind of with me my whole life, because when I wasn't reading books like that, my mom read the whole series to me and my brother and sister. And then I think around 3rd grade, that's when I picked them up and read them. And I was just reading them once or twice a year through like high school. Just I couldn't get enough of just rereading it. It was still new every time. Not because I have a bad memory, but just because I was discovering like more and more things.
I
That'd
think
be great if it was a fresh experience. Each whoa, I don't remember this.
Yeah,
guys, check this out. This guy's name is Frodo.
The pleasures of dementia sometimes.
I think that the people who really liked the movies were the people who were forced to read the book in high school or something. So they had a frame of reference. It came out and they're like enthralled with the movies, but they weren't attached to the book. That's what I have picked up from the few people that have expressed that same opinion that you have, that they love the books, but the movies didn't quite capture the feeling of the books.
I was never a fantasy guy, so I never read. I read The Hobbit in school, like everybody else, but I didn't even know those other books existed and had no idea what they was. The movies came out, and I just never was a real fantasy guy. I was a sci-fi guy, and I don't mind them now. Like the biggest fantasy I ever watched was probably a Never-Ending Story up to that point in my life. So then, of course, that was way before Lord of the Rings, obviously. But then Lord of the Rings come out. I tried watching them several times. I finally made it through them all, and they're good. They didn't hit me at that stage in life like it hit most people, and so they just don't have that spot in my heart. So
I think I can recognize that they're well made, but yeah, it doesn't do what I want to do when I want to read or experience Lord of the Rings. Like I'd rather even play like one of the Lord of the Rings board games that I have.
What movie
Or
does get you like that?
that like captures the book.
Well, no, that just what's like one of your favorite movies that holds a place like most people hold Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, or is it Star Wars? Are you a Star Wars guy?
I have complicated feelings about Star Wars where I really I like the first one or the fourth one, depending how you look at it. I like A New Hope. And then I think it's kind of downhill from there. I think once you introduce the twist that everyone's actually part of the same family, it gets a lot less interesting.
Interesting.
Oh yeah.
So I
New
like
Hope
the
is
first
like-
one, but
A New Hope is like my most watched movie ever.
I'm trying to think of like grand sweeping epics that are of the same scale as Lord of the Rings that I really like in film. And the only thing that's jumping out to me is the first two Godfather movies.
Oh, those were good.
And
Yeah.
and then that's a book I read also where it's like, oh, that actually improves on the book somewhat.
It's
Especially with
interesting
what it leaves out.
It's interesting when a movie can kind of riff on the book or do it better in a certain way. Like I of course remember watching Jurassic Park in the movie theater and being blown away by it, and then going, "Oh, I'm going to read the book." And then I read the book, and the book was completely different. They're like two completely different experiences.
I was actually thinking about this the other day and trying to put some order to my thoughts about Jurassic Park, and I came up with the book is about how systems collapse and how you can't control something that's too big, and the movie is about dinosaurs are really cool.
Right. Well, because it was like the old man was the bad guy in the book.
Oh yeah, he's a villain. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's not this happy-go-lucky old dude. He's a con man who's basically utilizing this science. And the thing that they did kind of halfway take a shot at from the book into the movie was Ian Malcolm, with him going on about chaos and how you can't control things, and them doing these various ways with capital. He's just doing this to make money, and it was shocking to watch it because the lawyer's this sniveling little guy in the movie, but he's like the hero in the book. And
He's my favorite character in the book. Is like Geronimo or I don't remember exactly.
Gennaro.
Yeah,
Robert Gennaro. But yeah, it was super odd.
He's so great in the book, and then in the movie, he just dies on the toilet.
Yeah, I don't know, that messed with me so much. And after that was like the first experience I had where watching a movie and then turning around and reading the book, or vice versa. That where I've got on this tear of I don't think that you can really adequately make a movie that has the same feeling from the book unless it's just a certain type of book. Like I think Project Hail Mary probably does a decent job of that, of capturing the same feel of a book in 2 hours on the movie screen. But there's just not that many that can pull that off. It has to be just a certain type of book.
Yeah.
And plus movies all suck now.
How old are you, Sean?
I'm in my early 40s.
Okay, so you're kind of of the same era, a little bit younger than me.
Era.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess Jurassic Park, of course, the first one came out when I was a teenager, and then Star Wars when I was very young, and then there just wasn't that many big. I mean, nowadays there's so many, it's ridiculous. I mean, you got the MCU, the DCU, Planet of the Apes. That was a good trilogy.
That was a good trilogy.
Batman. That was a good trilogy. But those all came out much later in my life, so I guess the Star Wars is the most nostalgic to me. But as far as trilogy, I actually enjoy rewatching. Probably Batman is the one that I've actually watched in most recent adulthood. I mean, Star Wars when I was a kid just never went off the TV. But nowadays, I can if Dark Knight's on, or I'm the rare. I don't care for Batman Begins at all. I find it extremely boring. I'd watch The Dark Knight Rises any time of the day over that one, but they're all three pretty good. And The Planet of the Apes are excellent movies. I love those movies, but by God, they're so depressing. Especially the last one, which is basically Schindler's List for apes. Good Lord.
I miss the Planet of the Apes reboot series, but
You need to watch it. You'll enjoy that.
But I do like the Dark Knight trilogy. My hot take on the Dark Knight trilogy is that the third one's the best. But
boy, you know what? That's when I left the theater, I thought the same thing. I don't know what that third one did different. But
everybody
I think
hates
the third one.
Everybody
the
hates
third
it.
one. It's
not hates
I think it's because Gotham itself is the character of that movie, and you really get a feel for the city, and I think that's really what spoke to me in that one.
And I think a lot of people didn't like the fact that Bane was the setup as being the big bad, and then he's just kind of like, the whipping boy to a ghoul girl.
Yeah, but I don't know why that's surprising, because that's how the first two movies worked, where you think it's going to be about Scarecrow. Oh, it's about Ra's al Ghul. And the next one is, everything's about the Joker, but the actual climax is about Two-Face. So, yeah, of course it's not actually going to be about Bane.
But I love Tom Hardy. That's my problem, too, is that Tom Hardy and his voice work, and the fact that he had to step into the shoes of being a villain after Heath Ledger died, and the expectations of that. I love the third Batman, even though everybody acts like it's the weakest.
Have you seen Tom Hardy in Legend?
Is that the one? Is that one where he's in the car? No. That's
Locke.
Characters.
Yeah, Legend is where he plays.
He plays the two gangsters. Yes, that's an awesome shit. Yeah.
And he's great in that because he does feel like two different actors. He really does have two different personalities in that movie.
Tom Hardy and Robert Pattinson, both of those guys are my two favorite actors, and they both do the same thing. They do voice work for each character that they go into, and each character has a very distinct voice, and it elevates every single one of their. Even if they're in a bad movie, they themselves are a unique character. I mean, Robert Pattinson's now kind of the guy when it comes to doing voice work. He strangely stole my accent in The Devil All the Time, or whatever that film was, when he played the Baptist preacher. But either way,
Robert Pattinson in Good Time.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was I was happy I got to see that before I saw Uncut Gems, so that I really had an idea of what Uncut Gems was going to be like, because Good Time just left me stunned, where never once did I think that he was going to get out of that okay, and by God he didn't, but that kept me guessing the whole time.
That was the first time I think that was his breakout role. I know he was in Twilight and all that mess, but the first thing that he did where he could actually prove that he was more than just a sparkly vampire or Harry Potter.
Yeah. No, I like Pattinson, and I like Pattinson's Batman too.
I do too. He's coming out now. He's got that prime time where he's going to be Chris Hansen, and the dude's going to catch an Oscar eventually.
He's got my vote. I've always been team.
Anyways, I got to tie this up. I'm overdone. We've kept Sean on for too long, going on about GMT and writer's block and his hot takes about the Lord of the Rings. We're going to get some hate mail out of that, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Send it to
and
Sean.
Here I was prepping a half hour of material on SpaceCorp. Yeah.
No. SpaceCorp is wonderful. SpaceCorp is awesome. We need to go up to that gateway to the geek whatever.
Geekway of the West.
That's in St. Louis, isn't it?
Yeah, so they've got two of them. The main one is in May, and that's actually one county over because they outgrew where they were in St. Louis. So it's technically in St. Charles, Missouri, but just right down the interstate. That's a few thousand people. And then January, they have Geekway Mini, and that one is only like 300 people. That sells out real fast. But those are both, I get the impression from people who've been to BGG that it's that sort of thing where it's a play first experience. It's no one's going to be doing any big panels or anything. It's just, nope, here's the library, here's the play to win library. Go have fun for 4 days.
Yep, that's what I like. I like that feel.
And St. Louis is just a great town anyway, so I would recommend anyone.
I vacationed and took my kids to St. Louis many years ago when they were little. It was back when the board game warehouse was still open. They were actually closing. They were like, there was the miniature market, cool stuff, and the board game warehouse were like 3 major online retailers. Well, they were going out of business, and I stopped by there, and they let me go back into the actual warehouse and go through their dint and ding stuff. And I bought biblios like dirt cheap there that I still have. Anyways, St. Louis has that downtown city. It's like a city museum, I think it was what it's called.
City Museum is like the ultimate playground for kids and adults. It's an old shoe warehouse where just floor by floor, they started converting it into slides and climbing cages and weird art. And they've got a Ferris wheel on the roof and a school bus hanging halfway off the roof that you can get into and like look down. It is fantastic.
They had to specially design that shoe warehouse. You know why? Because of the arch.
I was waiting.
That was very funny, Gaby.
That was good.
And on that hilarious note,
it was great talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming
Hopefully
on.
I'll see you guys in St. Louis sometime.
You never know. I do need to go to St. Louis.
And meet me there. That's going to do it for this episode. Sean, say goodbye.
Goodbye. This is Sean.
This is Gaby.
And this is Jerry.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.